This episode, I want to cover how to invest during the current coronavirus bear market. If you read the news or if you look at your brokerage account, you will likely see sharp declines of your portfolio or read about sharp downturns in the global economy and the stock market due to the coronavirus. Now we're in what is called a bear market. A bear market is a decline in 20% of a certain index. For example, here on the picture, the US S&P 500. In this episode, I want to cover how you should react now, what you shouldn't do, and how we move forward from here. So let's get into it. First of all, don't panic. I tried to outline here 4 steps that you should do now before you take any actions. So first of all, assess the current situation. I think it's very important to understand what is causing this economic shock and how is the situation going to look on the other side. So read the newspaper, understand what's exactly happening, and try to make your own judgment on how we as a society move forward from here. The same would apply to any kind of downturn that we see in the economy. And it's linked to the second point. Don't sell just because someone on CNBC or on the TV is telling you to sell. I think the most important part is to understand where you are at the moment and why you make certain decisions. So try to stay as rational as possible. If you open your brokerage account now, you probably see your P&L is heavily impacted, right? But in the end, what I want you to understand is that the P&L of your portfolio doesn't necessarily matter that much. To give you an example, if you bought a house for $1 million and tomorrow someone is knocking on your door and asking you to sell it for him for $500, you just shut the door and tell him, okay, you're stupid. Because in the end, the price is always what someone is willing to pay at a certain time. So if you would sell at the moment, all your holdings would give you a certain amount. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this is forward-looking or based on normal circumstances. So always keep this in mind when you look at the P&L of your current portfolio. And the last point I want to make is reassess your investment strategy. Usually in a down market, you can feel the impact of your strategy. What I mean by that is especially your asset allocations. For example, how much of your portfolio you allocate to equity or to bonds, as well as how you make decisions on when you sell or when you trim certain positions based on what factors. So this is a good time to look and see if the strategy is working, or if it's not working, what would be outcomes of that. The key point now, I think, is to see the bigger picture. Focus on your investment horizon. If you're 30 years old and you have many years to invest until you retire, look at this chart of the S&P 500. You can see there have been many downturns during the dot-com bubble or the financial crisis in recent years that also included sharp downturns. But see those downturns as well as opportunities. The main thing now is to continue to buy and to invest. If you have a monthly payment plan or you transfer money quarterly, monthly, whatever to your brokerage account, continue to do so, because even now you can get a lot of your normal stocks or whatever you're buying at a steep discount. Because we declined so much already, as well, maybe consider buying more aggressively. Of course, we don't know where we are in this downturn, when we will reach the bottom, but one option could be to slightly increase your monthly installments and average into it to get more discounts. And if you look at the past downturns, they all kind of paid off when you invested in when the market was down, let's say 30-40%. And we all know this corona crisis has a severe impact on the economy because basically everything is shut down. But at some stage there will be light at the end of the tunnel, so keep that in mind. And as well, if your strategy is not working, maybe now's a good time to make changes and adjust it and to learn from these mistakes. So maybe now would be a time that you can rebalance or sell certain holdings and adjust your strategy. So I hope this helped you to kind of stay the course and follow your plan. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and if you have any questions, send them to me on the email below, and I will cover that on the show.